that's burning on the inside of you? Well, then we want you to be able to tell your story so your voice can be heard. You can get in touch with me at www.lindahunt.net, Facebook, or Instagram. And we are looking forward to hearing about your story.
Get your perfect body in 2022. Dare to Be Bodied is offering laser lipo, lipocavitation, skin tightening, butt and breast lift, vaginal steaming, and so much more. Why don't you dare to be bodied? Call now for your free consultation, 313-434-4404.
Join the Marketplace Connection with our host, Linda Hunt. She connects us to new people every Saturday at 11 a.m. only on The One. Available on Roku TV, YouTube, Amazon Fire Stick, and Facebook Live. Join us every Saturday and become a connector.
Good morning, my Saturday morning connectors. It's a great day. It's a great morning. It's a great year. It's a great moment. Keep believing, keep hoping, keep hope alive. Live from the new studios, the Marketplace Connection is on the air. I want you to leap into your destiny, upgrade your thinking, expand your capacity, because God wants to give you more. You are more than what you have become. Well, good morning, my Saturday morning connectors. I am your host, Linda Hunt, your host connector here on the Marketplace Connection. We are so glad to be here once again, bringing you some wonderful content, wonderful people. We have an unusual show planned for you today. So I want you to click, like, share, tag somebody, and tell them that the Marketplace Connection is on the air. And we are going to be talking about something that is just really unusual, something that we don't really see or hear a lot about, that is educational, it is inviting, is invoking. I mean, it is a family time, and it is a rodeo, the Black Rodeo, the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. And so I want you to tell your friends, your neighbors that have children. We want to learn and hear about what the Black Rodeo is all about. You know, we don't get a chance to see that here in the city as much as other people maybe in other parts of the country, but we have a rodeo, and a lot of people probably don't even know that the Black Cowboy is actually something that is real. And so this is something that I feel that every person, every family should know about, because we have participated in this. We have been a part of history, and it is a history that is unknown, unspoken. And I really want you to hear and see about what this is all about. It is coming every year here in the metro area, the Wayne County Fairgrounds. And I want you to meet the founder of this wonderful, wonderful event that will be coming, Miss Miss Nicole Scott. Come on in. She is the founder of this particular rodeo that will be coming, with all of the cowboys that are coming from as far as California, all parts of the country that will be coming to be a part of the rodeo right here in your own backyard. Now, you cannot miss this, and it is coming to you to entertain you, to educate you, to invoke you of all of the things that are going on in this rodeo. So I want to introduce this woman of God, Nicole Scott, who is the founder of the Midwest Invitational Rodeo Series, established in 2017 with the sole purpose of providing family-friendly entertainment and education and has a reputation of providing just that with her rodeo shows. Nicole is enthusiastic, dedicated, and committed, and I know that to be a fact. She is committed, she is dedicated. Yes, give it up for her with excellence. And she has a mind to help us as individuals, as African Americans, to know about our history. And so I want you to meet this woman. And then we have one of the participants that will be a part of this particular rodeo, Miss Stacy and Russell. And Stacy is a writer. You would not believe when you saw that clip, that woman come flying out that gate. That was her on that horse, riding like only she can. She has participated in the rodeo. She's the first generation of rodeo athletes. Okay. This is just as important as the NBA, is just as important as the NFL, is just as important as the MLB. So we want you to know that this is an athletic event. Okay. It takes strength. I mean, concentration and all of that to get on that horse. And you saw her flying out that gate like she did, riding that horse, going around those barrels. And so she has, and to believe it or not, she's a teacher. Can you believe that? She is the vice principal. She's an assistant principal here in the local area. So I want you to meet these two women that are dedicated to bringing us the kind of entertainment and education here in the local area. So welcome, ladies. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome, Stacy, to the Marketplace Connection. I am so excited, and I am so honored to have both of you here today. So welcome today. So we will just start talking a little bit about. Tell us a little bit, Nicole. Since being the founder of this great opportunity, you have started with the Bill Pickett Rodeo. I remember many years ago when it came here to Detroit, and I really thought it was something that was still going on, but I didn't hear any more about it. And so this was, probably back in what, the 80s, 70s or somewhere when he came to town. Yeah. And I remember that. And so give us a little history of how you got started with the Bill Pickett and then taking up the helm and continuing on.
Okay. So the Bill Pickett is definitely still vibrant and still alive. We are going into the 39th year as the Bill Pickett Rodeo. Still traveling. We took a little bit of time off. Just kind of making sure that everybody stays safe and maintains, their safety and the 2000, about 20, 21 years ago.
Okay.
Fortunate enough to move to Denver. Ran into some family members or was adopted by some family members, and they grabbed me in, took me to the Bill Pickett Rodeo, and I've been in love ever since. So I actually got to see something that I didn't know that actually existed where I grew up, or when I grew up and was in school. Black History Month was usually Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, and then they talked about slavery. And so I got an opportunity to see people that look like me, and then to find out that there's history in it, that the original cowboy or the original cowgirl, was us, and the Pony Express. And that the fictional characters that we see on television were not, they didn't look like what we're seeing. So traveling with the rodeo, like I said, I did about 20 years, just being alongside my aunt and uncle, learning and seeing, and then had the opportunity to do a rodeo in Huntsville, Alabama. And then I did Bakersville, California. And then I said, you know what, we got to bring this to Detroit. People were asking me, why couldn't you do it to Detroit? And I guess I was a little nervous because it's my hometown. But then the family and friends, people like Stacy, embraced it and said, you know what, let's do it. Let's bring it here. And that's how it happened.
Wow. And so you started out with the actual Bill Pickett that started this
Yes,
rodeo.
very much so. Yeah, that's
Wow.
the
And
only
he
way to
was,
start. That's it.
wow. And was he actually a cowboy, or, I mean, how did he kind of get started?
So my uncle that started the Bill Pickett Rodeo, his name is Lou Basant, and what happened was Lou was a promoter, and he was in Denver, and he was promoting a concert, and pretty much lost his ass, and ended up getting stuck in Denver, and a friend of his took him to Cheyenne Frontier Days, which is a rodeo in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and he looked around and he said, "Wait a minute, hold on. There's nobody that looks like me here. There's nothing. I know that there was some people of color, which is not the word that he used. There's some people of color that were a part of the West." So what he did is he went back and he did his homework, and then he created the Bill Pickett Rodeo, the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo.
Wow. And to know,
Hmm.
even going back further, Nicole, even back to the slave days. And I remember,
Hmm.
us talking about that before and how that's how the cowboy name came about.
Yeah,
That we
yeah,
took
and
care of the cows. We took
yeah,
care of the
yeah,
chickens and the pigs and, and the
yeah,
cattle and all of those things. And so they would say, the slave owners tell the boy to go to,
yes,
get the cows or take care of the cows. And so that's how it was actually came about the
yes,
name. And so we
yes,
only see what we see on television, what is presented to us. We
yes,
have
very much
no
so.
idea how we have actually participated in history and thinking that
Yeah,
it was just something that, that a name that just came about and people other than us became the cowboys, the Lone Ranger, and, the Hopalong Cassidy's, and, and the modern day Clint Eastwood and the Rifleman. And, and we never saw us, never knew
yes,
that this was actually something that we actually were a part of starting. We were the
yeah,
initiators of it. And now to take it in even further, people like Stacy that can actually
yes,
participate and it become a sport where you can make money. And it's
yeah.
big money from watching some of these different some of these clips that I've watched. There's big money in this competition.
You know what, Miss Hunt? It is big money, but it is not as big of money for the minorities. Like Stacey is a premier athlete, a champion. I wish. I mean, she is a school. She does have her degree in education, and she is a vice principal at a school. But you know what? If we could get more sponsorship dollars or more money to be able to ask or to be able to add to the purse, which is the prize money, Stacy could spend more time with her horses. Stacy would be able to do a lot more. And Stacy has participated in other rodeos besides, African American rodeos. She has ran the gamut, but it is a sport. It is something that needs to be recognized. It is something that, she is an athlete. When you see her, coming out and she's going, you know 30, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, well, 50 miles an hour, coming out, running with that horse, and and she's got to be able to, run these patterns and do things and control the horse, also control her body as well. We,
Yes.
we don't realize what goes into it, and to have someone like her, as an educator as well, it just makes my
Yeah.
heart, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And Stacy, I tell you, I watched that clip, I don't know how many times. I mean, I watched three or four of them. I watched that one and I watched some other ones. And I'm like, how? And I saw you go around those barrels and I see that horse leaning,
Yeah,
and I guess you have to know how to lean with the horse. You have to know how to control that horse because I'm like, I'm watching and I'm like, Lord, please don't let her fall off this horse. Because that horse is leaning. And I'm telling you, you really get to see the athletic skill that it takes to really control that horse and know how to lean with it, know how to control it where you're not falling off the horse and the horse is not falling. So tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Practice makes perfect. It's just like any sport. You have to learn the fundamentals. The difference being is that you actually have a partner that has a brain, that has a beating heart, and you two have to practice. He has his job to learn, as well as me learning him learning me, and again, it all goes down to practice in any sport. That's what it boils down to: practice.
Okay. Okay. Now, how did you actually get being the first generation? Okay. How did you get interested in being a cowgirl? Okay.
Honestly, it started at church. I would say maybe I was about 8 years old. I was a part of the Buds of Promise, and we went on a field trip to a ranch. I got on top of a horse. It's the craziest thing. I got on top of a horse and I loved it. And that memory lasted my entire life. And then I was able to meet my trainer later on in life, and he put me on top of a horse. I started taking lessons, and I said, I really want to do this. And he told me about the sport of rodeo and barrel racing and things that you can do outside of your normal sports. And, by this time I'm older and I can't play basketball forever. I've had some injuries and things of that nature. I'm like, okay, well, let's do this. And so I bought a horse, and the horse that I bought, Reese's Cup, he already knew his job. And so it was a matter of me catching up to him. And then eventually we got to a level where I won a championship.
Wow. So, and you went to college for basketball, is that right? You
Softball.
softball. Okay, softball.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so
Yes, ma'am.
you just are really so you're just an all around athlete. Okay, softball, and then you played another sport too, right?
I played basketball growing up and ran track,
Okay.
but softball was the love, and I was better at softball than I was basketball, and I got an athletic scholarship to Tuskegee University.
Did you go into any basketball? I mean, excuse me, any baseball kind of, any kind of playing with the team or anything like that?
I travel. I was on travel teams growing up from sixth grade to my senior year. I went to softball camps at different universities that they offer during the summer, and then I went down to Tuskegee actually, and I met with the softball coach. Hit some balls, things of that nature. He hit balls, and I was playing in the outfield, and they offered me a scholarship on the spot.
I told
Wow.
you, Linda, she's no joke. She is no joke.
Yeah, oh no, I know. I was listening to, what do you call the guy, the announcer? What's the official name for him? The one that calls them out
He,
when they're coming out?
he is
Is
The
that what
an
he is?
announcer,
announcer.
Sam Howard.
Yeah. He said, and when they talk about it, it's from Detroit, and I'm like, yes, and he was saying, this girl, I like her smile. And she does. She has, I mean, you look at her, you would never think that this is what she does by just looking at her. But looks can fool you, because I tell you, she is great. I mean, you
Thank
really,
you.
really are good. Now, what other things do you participate in besides the barrel racing?
I do pole bending. Pole bending is not at every rodeo. However, there's other competitions that you can go to, which we call jackpots. And so I do pole bending and barrel racing. If I started at a younger age, I probably would have tried steer on decorating at the black rodeos, and also maybe even breakaway roping. But I started too late in life, so stick to two events.
Okay. So what is the other one you said? Pole what?
Pole bending. If
Okay.
you've ever seen, it's six poles and they're set up in a straight line, and you have to weave in and out of the poles.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I tell you, I love watching you, and I just love what you are doing as a whole, Nicole. I mean, really, to take on this kind of undertaking, because to produce a rodeo like this, I'm sure it takes a lot. It's a lot of moving parts. It takes a lot for you to do this, and still working. Can you believe this? This lady's still working a job. I call her sometimes, she on her job, and she answers my call when I call her. And I'm like, how do you do it, Nicole? I mean, because running this, producing a rodeo, and all of them is, parts. I mean, you have people coming in, you got the animals that has to be there, you have all of the events. And that's the thing that I like about what you're doing, is that not only is it just the rodeo, but you also have events that you set up for the cowboys to come into the community and to be able to talk to the young people or whatever it is. You set up different events for them. So tell us how you do that. How do you get all of that together? I mean, I know you got a team, but how do you do all of that?
You know what? First, I have to tell you, it's people like you and it's people like Stacy that help out so much that allow me to be able to do a lot of the stuff that I do. I'm also very blessed. I have an amazing family. My family is just, when you just breathe and say you can't even get the word out, I need, before they're already in, grabbing together and trying to see what they can do to help. One of the things that I saw when I go to rodeos, and like when Stacy goes out to a rodeo, a lot of times they don't get to, this is their vacation, this is their weekend, this is something, Stacey has a job that she works, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and then when she goes to a rodeo, even though her game face is on and she's, into it for the game and for the, the event, and we we're bringing people in from all over the country, and it's their vacation time that they give us, and they pay money to, put the fuel in the car or to just get there, and I want them to be able to enjoy as well, or take some time out, and especially our city. People have such stereotypes about Detroit. There's not a pawn shop on every corner, or it's not the craziness, that you see on TV. So when people when people come here, I like to take them out to, like Burt's. Several of the cowboys usually, they come in, a few of them start coming in on Thursday. We try to go to Burt's for dinner. We try to do something where they can go into the city and see some of the stuff in the city. And then, we were very fortunate that Burt took us in the back, and everybody doesn't know that he actually has like a museum, that tells us about the Black Bottom, that tells us about the black baseball players, or the African American baseball players. He has posters, the original Motown, posters. We usually go to Shane Park and try to catch a concert, the Wednesday night jazz series on at Shane Park, and just sitting there and talking to them, things that we take for granted, like black boaters, they hadn't seen it, or some of the people hadn't seen it. So I try to get them out where other people can see them as well. Like we are, one of the cowboys, a few of the cowboys, I'm taking them to Royal Oak on Thursday,
Hmm.
and they're kicking off a Juneteenth celebration. And how else to kick off a Juneteenth celebration by having some cowboys pull these kids aside, and we're going to be at the library in Royal Oak. Just they're going to read a story, and we're going to talk, and we're going to educate, and we're going to kind of like send a subliminal message, but not really hit them right between the eyes. But that there's a message that can be told, or a story that should be told, and we're going to be able to tell it. And then
Okay.
there's an opportunity that we have, that we are going to meet with some children's groups on Saturday morning. We'll be there, reading some stories, or just allowing, people to meet and greet. Cowboys and cowgirls are very prideful, and they're they have a uniform, and they have a dress code, and they, you don't catch them with their pants sagging. You don't catch them without a crease in their jeans. You don't catch them without a long sleeve t-shirt, or a long sleeve shirt. Stacy is, very respectful. She had her cowboy hat on, or a cowgirl hat on. So these children, like, we are going to, there's a Washtenaw County chapter of I Am My Brother's Keeper, something that President Obama set up. And so Saturday morning, several of the guys will be out there, saying hello. And then there's a Pharaohs and Queens chapter in Ypsilanti, that, we have a couple of the cowgirls going out there and reading a book too. So, what, to much is given, much is expected. So we need to be able to give back, to show, people, Stacey says she got a late start. We can educate somebody else. We have Michigan State's 4-H that's coming. And if we can introduce them to, agriculture or horticulture, or, veterinarian, or whatever, there's scholarships out there for people that look like us. And, Michigan State is in our backyard, and, that's their major school of that, or it's a major university that's what they're there for. That's what they're known for. So the more we can do to educate, the better we'll be.
Wow, wow. Well, I was reading Stacy's bio, and one of the things that she wants to do now, I can't say the word. Okay, you got to say it for me. What do you call it?
Equestrian.
Yes, equestrian. Okay. She wants to start a school. Is that correct? Where
Well, not a
you'll
school,
be
just a youth center.
okay, a center. Okay, where it would be a place of educating the young people how to care for, take care of the horses. Is that what it is? You can talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. Just a place where our young people, or really any kids in general, mostly servicing the urban areas, can come and learn about horsemanship. They can be exposed to the different sports. They can become more involved in the sports, the associations that Michigan has to offer. So you have your Little Britches, which is ages probably as soon as you can sit up on a horse to 18 or 19, and they can actually compete and go to competitions around Michigan and even around the United States, depending on how far they go, just like any other sport. Where you have national competitions as well. Then you have high school rodeo, and all of these, or both of these organizations, they are students or athletes of youth in the youth, they can earn money or scholarship points so that that can transfer to whatever university or trade school that they will go post high school.
Wow,
So Linda,
absolutely.
I didn't know. I This has given me an opportunity to hear this from Stacy. I guess I've never read her bio, but that is something that we will pray on, and that we will give us a year, 2 years, Stacy, and we'll make it happen, because that's something that needs to be. It needs. I mean, we have so many fears of things, and if we can see it, we can be it. And knowing that that's her dream, you know what? We need to make that dream happen, because there could be some more Stacy Russells. And Stacy is doing this, but Stacy needs to do a camp. Hint. Stacy needs to do something where she's in the community and we set up something, because we see people, the basketball camp, baseball camp, all that stuff. You know, and I was a goofy kid. I went to a lot of different camps. Being an only child. We need to make that happen, Stacy. We need to figure that out. We
Okay.
need to get a Stacy Russell um, equine camp or equestrian camp that teaches people how to, she's a tough cookie. She's saying okay, Nikki, and she's saying okay to this, but she ain't no joke. She's yeah. I can imagine those kids after spending a week with Stacy. Oh goodness. Yes. But if we don't have people like her that's teaching, then where's the next generation? Where are we going to continue? How are we going to continue doing what we're doing if we don't each one teach one, or if
Mhm.
we don't allow, someone like her to be able to give her talent? So we got to work on that. We got to that is on my
Yes.
list, Stacey. Do that.
Yes, absolutely. That would be wonderful. And if you can join even some of the when they have the Cowboys, I would love to be able. Nicole, you have to give me that information when they're going to be at their Royal Oak, for the Juneteenth celebration. Yeah,
I
I'd
will.
like to be there. I'd love to be there. And Stacy, yeah, you have to get out there and show some of these women that
Yes.
that this is something that they can do for the love of the sport of it, the love of the having a relationship with the horse, and the horse is and listen, I tried riding a horse and I couldn't get this movement, to move with the horse, and every time the horse went up, I went down. So by the time I got off that horse,
Done.
I
Yes.
was
Yes.
I was beat up. So I need to come and learn how to and take some lessons too of knowing how to ride, because I watch you, and you just move with that horse. And I'm like, man, I could not get that thing together. And by the time I got off that horse, I'm telling you, my rear was so sore. So just things like
Definitely.
that. We have to really, there's so many creative things, Nicole, as you were talking, that just thinking, and I'm always thinking of different ways to do different things. I like variety. I like doing different things. And I was saying, maybe one time when you do this, I'm an author. Maybe we can have it and do a joint where I have a book signing, and then have some of the cowboys that are there that can come in, that can talk about it. I mean, just something different. And yeah, so we just got to put our heads together and come
Linda,
up with
you know that if
something.
you say it, if you say it, it's done. So whenever
Come
you say
on.
you want to do something, and you just make it happen. You know what? If
That's right.
all of us could just help each other and help us reach the next level. Um, as far as a book signing, whenever you want to come out, we are there June 10th and 11th, and we will set up a table for you. And we will send some cowboys and cowgirls over there by you. And you know what? You stand alone in your writing and in your books that you wouldn't even need us. But anytime we can do a conjunction with somebody or somebody else, we definitely need to get the word out. Just like, if you can see it, you can be it. So
Come
kids,
on.
if they see authors and horseback riders, and like I said, she's a vice principal, we don't get to see that often. I don't know that I've ever had anyone of color, maybe one high school principal or elementary school principal I could think of. But you know what, we have to allow people to see it to be able to do it. And like, again, if Stacy's willing to do something like that and that is her dream, then it is for me, as an older sister of hers, we got to make that happen. We got to get it. We got to figure this
Yeah.
out. As my brain is spinning now, like, who can I call? Detroit Parks and Rec. Who am I gonna call, and where am I gonna find this to make this happen for her? Yes, we got to do this. We're looking at,
Yeah.
people. I called Stacy and I was just like, you know what? We were blessed to have Shinola as one of our potential sponsors, or a sponsor that wants to come out and they want to shoot some footage. Shinola is Detroit based, and so is she. So, and there's not a lot of people that look like her that are here doing what she does. So we need to support her. We need to be able to support her. I'm sure she's working a lot because Reese Cup is like a man. She takes him all over places. She takes him, for baths and, different things. Stacy, oh my, yeah, Reese Cup is no joke. But, we have to be able to encourage her and continue to encourage her and support her. And, people, introducing her to companies like Shinola or, Black Spirits, which we're excited about, having Dukes and Dame as one of our sponsors. The skill trades. The more that we can get, us to know, or just everybody to know, that's the only way we're going to get to the next level, or be able to help each other get to the next level. And it's about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's a wonderful idea. I am looking forward to hearing more about it. So, Stacey, you definitely have to keep in touch with me,
Yes.
and let me know, whenever this is starting and whatever I can do to help you, publicity wise or whatever. Please, pull on my gift, pull on my talents, and yeah, I mean, because we women, and that's what I like about it, and man, this is this is nothing towards you or anything, but because these are my girls. When I see my girls doing something, and we are moving in every spectrum of society nowadays. There is no place, women, I want you to know that you cannot infiltrate, that you cannot go. We are moving like never before. God is just opening up doors in every culture of society for us. So I'm telling you, if you have an idea, this is the time, this is the season, this is the moment for you to be able to move out and doing what God has called you to do. No matter whether you think it's something that nobody else has ever done, or you think it's something that nobody else would be interested in, this is your moment in your time, because I believe more than ever, the creativity of God is operating in the earth now like never before. So I just want all of my women to know that what God is doing with these women and through these women, that he can use your gift, your talents, no matter how small it is. If you bake, if you sing, if you dance, if you, whatever you do, you can do it. Yes, you can. And it's time to do it now. It's time to stop procrastinating. It's time for you to get up and to do what you are called to do. Okay, so that's my little plug for today. I just want to encourage my listeners to be able to know that you have all that you need. You are more than enough. So, Stacy, tell us a little bit about, do you foresee the rodeo going to other states? We already declared and decreed that it's international, okay? We've already decreed that it's going international. So, do you foresee this maybe being something that, I know they have other rodeos, but I'm talking about your rodeo, okay? Do you foresee it going to other states, and I'm believing that it is. And so we are going to be behind you. We're going to be cheering you on, doing whatever we can like this, and opening other doors as we have for you to be on other broadcasts. So other people that don't even know about this, don't know about a Stacey Russell, don't know about women competing in this particular arena. So do you foresee, Nicole, possibly this going to other states as well?
You know what? I think that what you just said is something that you just spoken to. I don't know, Linda. Every time I get with you, my head just starts spinning and things start happening. You know what? I would love for us to do some other areas, and I would like to maybe, our rodeo is Friday, Saturday. I would like to maybe start doing something maybe with Stacy on a Saturday morning. This is you're catching both Stacy and I off guard because we hadn't talked about this, but maybe that might be something that our rodeos are in the evening, so she might be able to do a camp that that Saturday morning or that Thursday morning or something like that, or that Thursday before the rodeo. We're open to go to different places. Our rodeo is a little bit different than some of the other rodeos. Our rodeo is more of a fair. So we have different clubs. Like we have the 4-H coming in. We're talking to a group called Manor, which is minorities in agriculture. They have it really again is exposure. Like my ski club Jim Dandy has been around for 60 years, 61 years now. We are a part of the National Brotherhood of Skiers, which has been around for 50 years. So we like to, before the rodeo starts promptly at 7 o'clock, but we like to get there about 4 o'clock where, you catch people like Stacy and other cowboys and cowgirls warming up. You get to see that. You see them walking around and talking and saying hello. And, you could probably talk to them until probably about an hour before the actual rodeo starts, because then their head is focused on the rodeo. But, you had asked Stacy, does she see it going further? Again, I would love for it to do, but we want to give a great show. We want to be able to, give you something that you're very prideful of, because we do the reenactments of the different, the different history, the characters in history, like the Bass Reeves and the Stagecoach Marys. We sing the Negro National Anthem. We want I guess our mission is for you to have pride. If you could see it, you could be it. And if you have the pride in what you're doing, maybe we might have a little less of the situations that we have going on in the United States right now. If we had more activities for our youth, maybe we can get rid of some of this hostility or some of the, they have
Yes.
other ways and other outlets to do things. Not everybody. I have my kids are I'm not going to say extremely tall, but my son is 6'9", 6'9". My daughters play basketball. They were athletes and things, but not everybody has a jumper. So and then after a while, like Stacey, she played baseball. And then after a while, she said, what, her knees or whatever it was that got her out of baseball, she found another love, another passion that also is a sport, and she is extremely competitive. So, we're able still to compete in different ways that, even if we're not out there physically doing it, her love for what she's doing, she'll be able to teach one, and each one will teach one. And then, like I said, we're going to work on doing some kind of camp or doing some kind of something prior to the
Yeah.
rodeo where she could, do something and at least allow us. So Linda, when you get on a horse next time, you'll know how to do it properly, and you'll know how to handle things a little bit better. And you'll have an instructor like Stacey Russell that will teach you, and you'll be able to be a cowgirl as well.
Absolutely. Well, Stacy, I welcome you. I welcome you teaching me how to properly ride a horse. So, Stacy, where do you keep your horse? Do you have a ranch, or do you keep your horse? Where do you keep your horse?
I board my horse in Belleville. A friend has a boarding facility, and I keep him there.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they have boarding facilities like in places like Belleville where you can actually keep your horse there. Wow.
Yes.
And from what I've seen, and I was watching the Concrete Cowboy a couple about a year or two ago. I think right there at the time when I met Nicole, and I
Yes.
was really really intrigued by it. I'm like, wow. and this is like actually in the city, that they actually, and I think they still, I don't know if they still exist, for in Philadelphia, I believe it was. And it was right after that, then I saw a guy in the city of Detroit riding his horse, and I'm like, wait a minute now.
That's one of Stacy's friends. That's one of
Yeah,
Stacy's
so
friends that ride
you
his
do
horse
have.
in Detroit.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry. You do
goodness.
have the Buffalo Soldiers in Detroit.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, and the horses, they seem so gentle and such loving, animals. And to learn how to, groom them and take care of them. And I guess that's what they were doing in the Concrete Cowboy. It was actually an opportunity for the men that were older to teach the younger kids how to take care of the horses. It teaches them skills about concern, not only just about yourself, but about other people and other, animals and things of that nature. So um, there's a lot of teaching that goes into not just learning how to ride the horse, but the care, the concern, not being selfish about, just being concerned about you. And so all of those things, Stacy, whenever you, I'm sure, open your center, those would be some of the skills outside of just the horse itself. That's right. We're decreeing that. That's going to happen. And so outside of the skill of learning how to ride, the care and concern, would you agree?
Absolutely. You can learn so many different things from a horse that does not have to do with riding itself, from building confidence in our young people to just discipline and the general welfare of a horse, respect,
Wow. Wow.
all sorts of things that you will learn.
Yes, yes. Well, I think that's a wonderful thing, and particularly needed, I think, for right now, for the generation that's coming up. That a lot of them, inner city particularly, don't get a chance maybe to do a lot of things. Don't get a chance to go a lot of places, but to have something like that here locally that can teach them those kind of skills, teach them those kind of concerns, how to be concerned about other people, and I think that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. So we're going to be really looking forward to that. I'm going to be talking to Nicole about it, and and whatever we can do to try and help out to make that happen. When do you have a foreseeable date as to when you think you might want to start doing that?
Linda Hunt, she just started talking about it.
You,
You
you
make it
know,
happen. You
listen,
got to give her some time.
the first things first is
Come
to
on,
find a
they,
facility. As
look, they
soon as
call me the
possible. The
pusher.
first thing is find a facility. We find a facility, we get some horses. The kids is the easy part.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We're
Find a
gonna we're gonna be
facility.
talking off
Find a
air.
facility.
We're gonna be talking off air. We're gonna see what we can do to make that happen. My girlfriends, they call me the pusher, so you give me an idea, I might not know exactly about what you're doing, but but I can help. Okay,
We're
I
Absolutely.
going
can
to
help
figure it
you in
out.
the way that I know how to help you. And I have a lot of influence with different people that I know. Nicole, we are still going to be doing some things, as we had talked about some of the things. So we're going to get that done in terms of going to, the dealerships and different places like that, because you have been involved, with some of the people that I know. And so we got to make that happen for next year for real. We're going to make that happen. Okay.
Working on it. We are working on it. Yes, we are a work in progress. Yes, this is our village. It is our village, and we will make it happen. And we will have to figure out how we going to get, because Linda Hunt said it. We got to figure out now how we going to get Stacy a facility so she can
That's
put together
right.
this camp. Yes, 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 yes.
That's
All
right.
right. One more thing on
Absolutely.
my shoulder. One more thing. Oh, we got this.
So
We can do
Nicole,
it.
Scott, what is next for you? What is it that's on your agenda next for the next? Where do you see, this maybe in the next 5 years, next 10 years? What's next?
So that, you know what? Uh, Goodness gracious, I love to say this. We have been approached by several different cities, different organizations that are asking us to come to their town, come to their area, and put on a rodeo. I don't know that people actually understand what it takes. You know, you have to have a facility, you have to have the dirt, you have to bring in, you know, the pin, you have to be able to have places for, you know, people like Stacy to put their animals, you know, to before the rodeo and after the rodeo. But you know what? Here in Detroit has been my main focus, and you and your friends have been calling my rodeo Midwest International Rodeo. I don't know about international, but if we could get somewhere bigger, I got to get to the city of Detroit. You know, Belleville has been great for me. It has been an amazing area for me, but this show that we're going into now, I believe we're going to sell it out. We have so many groups that are calling us right now, church groups, and they're not just asking for 5 and 10 tickets. They're asking for 20 and 30 tickets. You know, we're still looking for a few vendors, you know, some things that are happening. But my ultimate goal in 3 years is 3 years, maybe five, is to be in the city of Detroit. We got to do something down that way. We definitely have to bring back, you know, we don't have the old state fair anymore. We don't have the state fairgrounds,
Right.
but we got to figure out a way. Yeah, I don't know if they'll let me put dirt in Little Caesars, but we might have to do something. We might have to figure something out.
All right. Well, you know, we'll try and work out something with some of the youth groups that I know, pastors that I do know, pastors that I have some, you know, some influence with, and we'll see if we can do something where we can make sure that the youth groups know about it, you know, because I know some of the youth groups that I know personally, I sent it out to them. So we want, you know, we want people to know about what you're doing and make this something that is known among the young people that really need to have this information, this education about what's going on. So we definitely need to next year really hook that up where we're able to get into
You know
some of
what?
these churches.
If
Go
if
ahead.
we could, you know, and then also too, we have young ladies that get to see so many different things. You know, the young ladies get to see, and not that I'm against it so much, but you know, let's let them see something different. You know, let them see somebody as beautiful as Stacy that carries themselves in a way where I don't, you know, she might be able to do you know, a few dances or whatever, but you know, it's the way she carries herself and the pride and stuff like that. You don't see her in anything, you know, that's not appropriate, that's not respectful, you know, just to be able to see her and touch her and feel her, you know. And she has friends, she has girlfriends that, you know, rodeo with her as well. One of her friends is, you know, the rodeo queen from Michigan State from several years ago. You know, all these people will be at the rodeo. So, you know what, we have to give our youth something to look forward to, and also,
That's
you
right.
know, something or someone to be prideful in and say, hey, you know what, that is, I know that person, you know, comes to me, or I can see her, I can feel her. You know, it's all about exposure. It really is. And if, you know, we might have to create after everything that you've prophesized, we might have to have a little Stacy's Corner at the rodeo this year, that we can, you know, have the girls and the youth come by and be able to at least say hello to her.
Amen. Well, we're looking forward to it. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for, you know, all that you're doing and the example that you set, you know, in terms of having a dual career between being a educator as well as doing what you do, and your love for horses and your love for the abilities that you have, making this the sport that it is, with the respect and the honor that you bring to the table. And so we are so looking forward. I will be there on Saturday. I'm definitely looking forward to it. If the producer, if you could put up that flyer one more time before we go, we want you all to participate in this. There is so much that is going on besides the horse riding. There's steer wrestling. There's tie down roping, ranch bronco riding. The ladies barrel racing. There's relay racing. There's ladies steer undercoating and bull riding. I mean, it is so exciting to see when they are riding out there and they're tying those bulls down. And oh my God, it is like you almost get afraid, like, oh my goodness, okay, can he get up? Will he get up fast enough? And so you will be on the edge of your seat watching it. It is so much fun. And so we thank God for what this woman of God is doing here among us. Okay. This could be any place else, but it is here in the metro area. And we want to come out. The tickets are $20 in advance. So you have until the day of to get your tickets. Okay. So because if you wait and get them at the gate, you will be paying $25 the day of the show. So go on Eventbrite and you can get your tickets right now for $20. There is also a parking fee of $5. Okay, so you know you have to pay to park. So it'll be $20 in advance and $5 when you get there. So that way you already know before you get there you have to pay $5 for your parking. So that again, save the date. That is June 10th and 11th at 7 p.m. at the Wayne County Fairgrounds, and that's at 10871 Quirk Quirk Road, and that's in Belleville, Michigan. Okay, again, that is June 10th and 11th at 7 p.m. at the Wayne County Fairgrounds. So please be a part of this Midwest Invitational Rodeo. And we just thank God for the lives of Nicole Scott. Give it up for her, the founder of this wonderful, wonderful event. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, your gift, your talent, and your money. I know, and all it goes into all it goes into putting on this rodeo. And so we look so forward to being a part of this, Nicole. Next week, we'll see you there. Thank you all so much for the Marketplace Connection, for my Saturday morning connectors. I know if you have enjoyed this as much as I have, please leave comments in the, down in the comment box, letting me know that you will be a part of this. You do not want to miss this. Bring your children, bring the older people. It's so educational and it's so much fun. There's food, there's vendors. So if you still want to be a vendor, you can call. I don't have the number, but Nicole, do you have the number where they can call? Okay, so we don't have the number. If you want to be a part of it, just get in touch with me and then I can get in touch with her. If you want to be a vendor and you want to be there with your food trucks and things of that nature, you can be there as well. So this has been the Marketplace Connection. I thank you so much for being a part of it. We will see you again next week. We will be at the fair, so we will, won't be live, but we'll be back the week. We'll be back the week after. Okay, have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Horse that she rides. I predict International Finals Rodeo qualification for Stacy Russell this year. Come on, girl. She's from Detroit, Michigan. Leaderboard looking.